Have you ever heard the saying, life is about choices, and every choice I've ever made has led me to this point? Today, we are going to talk about the choices that we have, what we can control, and how we can control our spending in today's inflation. I hope you will stick around. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. This is Brownie. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. When we think back to all of the choices that we've had, what house we've purchased, what car we've purchased, whether or not we've had children or gotten married, how we've spent our time, how we've spent our money, and how we've spent anything that we've saved, and whether or not we have saved, there are so many variables in how our lives turn out. But right now, everybody's battling the same thing, inflation. So today I'm going to share with you some of the decisions that I have made about things that I'm no longer purchasing or that I'm using instead of something else to save money. Because again, it's all about choices. As we go through our pantry and begin using things that we have stored, there are certain things that I've decided I'm not replacing. Did you know there are multiple colors of lentils? There are brown, green, red, yellow, and black. Now, where I live at, you're lucky to find red and a green and maybe a brown. And it's hard to even find some of those colors, but I did have some red on hand, and the red cost more than the brown or the green. So I used up the red in a lentil soup that I was making this week. I used also my brown, and I'm not replacing the red because they cost more and I really don't see a difference in them. So I made lentil soup from my first cookbook's recipe the first day or two, and then the next day I cooked up some steak meat that I had bought on clearance and cut it up into stew meat. I cooked that until it just fell apart tender, mixed it in, and then the next few days we finished up the lentil soup with beef in it, which is also a variation in my cookbook, and it tasted totally different than the first several days. So those are some of the strategic moves I'm making. As I'm seeing things that I am using up and I'm seeing that the prices are higher than I have to pay to get an equivalent product, I'm just not replacing those items. We will be fine without them. One of the other things that I'm doing is I'm keeping a list of where I can buy certain staples for less, basically all of the time, unless I see a special that is cheaper. So as I'm going through the different stores that we have here, I make a list of, oh my gosh, Sam's Club has carrots that I can get for about 67 cents a pound. I can't get carrots less than 99 cents to a dollar a pound anywhere else. So that saves me quite a bit of money. And I just do it on a trip that I already have planned where I'm going by there. So I buy them in a 5-pound bag when I'm going by Sam's to replace that. And that is what I'm doing. I'm keeping a list of where I can get those items cheaper. Aldi is the cheapest place to get my tortillas, to get my lentils. Everywhere else is way more. So I plan those strategic areas to shop when I need those items, and I know which stores have them for the least price. Keeping that list of the stores and where things are the least expensive of my staples also helps me when I am traveling to grandchildren's ball games and things like that. There's one store that is up around one of my grandson's soccer fields, and I make a point of stopping there because they have a great dollar section. It is dwindling big time. I have a feeling it is getting ready to be discontinued. But while it is still there, I take advantage of that dollar section. Also, they have a great clearance area, and I always check it out while I'm there because I can pick up some really cheap items marked down. So it's really important to know your stores and know where they keep their clearance items. Also, I like to check out certain areas of their store that I know have the cheapest items. It's where I can still get my green split peas in a 16-ounce bag for $1.25. This is also the cheapest place that I have found to get Jello, and they usually have some unadvertised marked down items. So I keep my eye out for those and I go through that store really carefully. I also was able to get a cream of celery soup for 19 cents a can with their digital coupon. This is not something that we keep on hand. It's something that I can only make when I'm eating something because it's not gluten free. And I love their apricots in the dollar section for $2. I noticed when I went through Aldi that fruit in the can has gone up again. Now, apricots is something that's really hard to find. And like I said, their dollar section is dwindling. So I don't think they're going to be replacing a bunch of those items when they're gone. But this will cost you about $3.50 at a grocery store if you can find it. Some of the other items that I picked up was I picked up some 99-cent cake mix. That is a deal, and I could use that for a carry-in potluck or something. And then I also picked up these on clearance, some apple cider muffin mix. I normally don't keep muffin mix, but for 99 cents, it would be a quick breakfast for me for a few days if I decided to have that. So these are some of the things that I watch out for, and then I use areas like this to stock my pantry. I'm always staying on top of prices, and I feel like that has come from us owning a grocery store for 7.5 years. I was always aware of competitors' prices. I always wanted to stay competitive with the community. And so I watch prices very, very closely, and I'm very aware when they go up 10 cents, 20 cents, 30 cents. And that's one of the things that I do is I look for the best bang for my buck. I can't remember the last time that we have bought French fries, hash browns, tater tots, and we love all of those things. We do. But when I can get a 5-pound bag of potatoes for either $1.99 on sale or even $2.99 if they're not on sale, that's 5 pounds of potatoes versus a 1 or 2 pound bag of frozen potatoes for more than that. And then if you go name brand, you're adding on again. And that just increases the price of your meal substantially by going for some of those items versus going for the whole food instead. It's not that hard to make oven roasted potato wedges, a baked potato, mashed potatoes, scallop potatoes are cheap, fried potatoes. So we just stay away from the frozen potato section. That's something that we have not added back into our stash in a very long time. And do we miss tater tots? Yeah, I miss tater tots, but I can live without them. I'm not going to pay the crazy price that they want for hash browns and tater tots right now. And I guess I'm stubborn that way because if I see something and it is not where I feel like it is a reasonable price, then I will not buy it. I will just pick something else because I'm not going to be held by those inflation handcuffs. I am going to buy what I feel is affordable. I'm going to buy something that when I come home, I feel good about. I don't feel like I've been taken advantage of, and I don't feel like I am helping inflation by purchasing these products that are overinflated. I also will shop in places that are not maybe the first place that people think of when they think of groceries. I will shop in the ethnic food stores. I have a Hispanic store and an Asian store that I love. I also will stop by a salvage Amish grocery store when I go and see one of my daughters. It's up around where she lives at. So I'll map out that trip and I will look at the dates really carefully. Some of the stuff is close to expiration, some of it is just dented or discontinued, so you have to go through the store really carefully, but I usually come home with some good deals there. I also will use my coupons and my discounts at CVS Pharmacy. Sometimes I get some really good deals there, which I've shared with you before. And I also will look through Ollie's discount store because I can get a lot of good stock up canned goods there that are marked down. So don't just think supermarket when you're shopping. Sometimes some of these out of the way places that are not the first place you think of can be the places that you can stock your pantry for less and come up with some really good deals as well. I hope this video has given you some ideas of how you can control some of the costs and some of the choices in your home, how you can save money for other things or be able to redirect some of that grocery money towards areas that you need it more. Thanks for watching today. I hope you will join me again. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this, and I hope to see you soon.